Welcome to Smack's Dirty Laundry, part
What's up?
3. Special hot summer edition. Fritz is prepared.
Yes, I'm ready. I've got a towel going on. Ladies and gents, Dirty Laundry. I completely looked at the wrong camera, but I'm here now. Dirty Laundry, obviously, as you all know, everybody's favorite format. We've got some great stories that we know nothing about. As always, nobody told us anything. You sent us some stories, guests, managers, co-workers. It's all in there, apparently. We've got a stack of cards here. We know nothing about it, but we'll dig through all of them.
Yes, and we are at the wonderful laundry of the Social Hub. I'm
place.
super happy to be here.
What a place.
Crazy, huh?
And
This
what
stuff
a
is
place.
always fixed
It's
here.
insane, yeah.
Please don't forget, if you would have handled any situation differently, or you want to share your opinion, or you say, well done, good job, or any other thoughts, share it in the comments.
Let us
and
know.
Be with us at all time.
If you have a story that you want to send us, there's an email address. It's right here below. It's stories@smack.media. You can send us all your stories for the next edition. I'm sure there'll be one more before the end of the year. Let's get it.
I'm so ready to go in the
Oh,
bed.
dialed.
I'll get it out. Huh?
Yeah, get it out. Get it out. Get it out.
All right, party people. We have a wonderful story of Laura the barmaid. Starts already amazing. Working in a luxury hotel means never saying no to a guest. I know this one.
Mm-hmm.
One morning around 9 a.m., a guest started his day with our most expensive bottle of whiskey. 9 o'clock.
9 a.m. Wow.
Downed it in the lounge and staggered back to his room. Was that you, Fritz?
Nope.
Whiskey
Not a
must
whiskey
work.
guy.
Whiskey must work up an appetite because he soon ordered tartare from room service. Not satisfied, he tossed the entire plate out of a 6th-floor window. The plate landed on a table where other guests were peacefully enjoying their breakfast.
Wow. Two things. Number one, I'm not a whiskey guy, so I don't know much about whiskey.
But you know that you have to drink it.
I know that it's a liquid. I'm aware of that.
Good.
The full bottle before 10 a.m. is.
Well,
I mean, I would be in the hospital.
It depends on what he did before.
Yeah, that's
If he
true.
came from club, probably he was still on fire, done it. The question,
Imagine you're at breakfast in the courtyard, and there's a tartare that lands on your head. For no reason at all.
first of all, it's super dangerous, huh?
It is super dangerous.
Yeah, whatever.
Would you kick him out? So you're the GM. Imagine, because GM right here. Would you kick him out? Do you kick him out?
That's a tough question, I have to say. I think, first and foremost, I'll talk to the guy.
Yeah.
And then it's a question, what kind of a guest is it?
Probably not right there and then, but in the evening when
No,
he's...
for sure. And then it's as well a question on what happened. And if it's somewhere else, the question is, why could the window be open? Why can something be thrown out of a window? Is always as well a responsibility that lays with us. But I have to say, first and foremost, I would start by, why do you sell a bottle of whiskey at 9 a.m. to a person who might have already a bit too much? That's a bit the question I have. But besides that, there's not much you can do. This can happen everywhere and every day.
I feel like it matters.
You throw out stuff of your window at home all the time.
All the time. Yeah. Yeah, all the time. But I live, outside the street, so it's a different story for me. But again, I think if it depends on if the plate hits somebody. I feel like if you injure somebody, then you need to go.
Yeah, as well. Imagine you have your white shoe. You're coming from tennis practice, and then you have your white Miami Vice, and then a flap of tartar. There. No, it's a tough situation. So handling, I think the first discussion I would have is with the guests who were involved.
Yeah,
and then with the guests who caused.
And then also with the team, right? Because as you said, who sells a bottle of whiskey at 9 a.m. And downs it in the lounge? Holy shit, man!
Well, could you?
Kudos.
One last question: could you down a bottle of liquor?
No.
I think the time's over to downing a bottle of liquor.
I think, my body would simply not respond.
Yeah, because your body already is full when you have one glass of champagne.
Correct.
Okay, Laura.
Moving on. Thank you, Laura.
Amazing.
Appreciate
I'll
that.
put this back in the pants. Let's see.
Yeah. Push it. Yeah, beautiful. Okay.
Love it. What does it say on the back? New year, new smack?
New year, more smack. This is from our friend Kalle.
I love the name. Kalle.
What a name. Doesn't get more German. Love it. Kalle works at the concierge. Okay. We once had a couple checking in at reception. They were given a park and display permit for their car. So far, so easy. About 40 minutes later, the husband comes to reception shouting and complaining that he's received a parking ticket and the permit he was given was obviously no good. He couldn't understand why, and there was no way couldn't understand why. There was no way the permit wasn't valid. We asked, did he display it in the window as we told him to do? He said, of course. He put it in the window as soon as he got upstairs to the room. Oh, that is smart. That's when we realized he put it in the bedroom window and not the car window.
There is no.
There is no
solution on stupidity.
Stupidity
I'm so sorry. We can
Stupidity is just something that hospitality is always going to suffer from. That's just how the story goes. In my opinion, the guests just fucked up.
Let me try to think. Hi, I have a car.
Yeah.
I want to park it. Here's your parking ticket.
Yeah.
And you put it in your window in the room.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Worse. You go upstairs. The ticket probably has about what? This, like half of this size. It's tiny. So who's going to see it from the 10th floor?
No, what the why would you put it in the room?
I mean,
you're not parking your car in the room.
Kalle, brother, you need to just tell him to get a grip of himself.
No, here's the thing. What I would do is take it serious, because these are the stories that make our industry amazing.
Probably 5-star hotel.
This is the stories that make our industry amazing.
Yeah.
You sit down, Kalle, you look at him and said, I'm very sorry for that mistake that we have done. That's what you say. Then you make him happy. And then you keep the story and send it to Smack at all times, because you can
Kalle,
write
that's
a
what you
book
do, man.
about that shit.
That's
I
insane.
cannot know how many of these stories
It's
we have.
insane.
You cannot do anything correct there. For
Moving
sure.
on. Thank you, Kalle.
Kalle. All right,
What a
let's
name.
go.
What a great name.
See, they know that I can read. That's why they only
They give
have
you the
one
short
sentence
text. Fair.
cards.
That's fair.
So it's Paula, who was a waitress at that time. Hey, Paula, comment what you do today. And make me happy, be still in hospitality. That's what I want. I was working as a waitress at that time, and a mother told her daughter if she didn't work or study hard enough, she would end up like me. Right there in my face.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Harsh.
That's for me the biggest nightmare. We have in Germany a lot of discussions about that, where other work as environments make campaigns, industries about how hard it is if you be a waiter. Here's the thing. Being a waiter and being in guest service is the highest you could do. You're super stress resistant. You can deal with literally any situation, and anything that you do better results in better money. Try to do that when you work somewhere in the industry.
Would you respond? I would straight up say, hey, listen, my life is better than yours. In that case, I would throw all etiquette out the window and absolutely respond.
I would not confront her.
Right.
I would literally say something like, I would say something like, or you work hard and you be the best waitress, because I can promise you, you'll have fun every day.
Yeah.
I don't know how long I'm in this industry, and it's so much fun.
There's something new every day, man. I mean, that's the whole beauty of it. I first of all, Paula, thank you for sending. I think I would, probably not confront, but I would not just let it sit there. I would probably say something. And
nah, come on.
You would just suck it up.
How do you suck it up, man? There's so many people who still think that. The point is, all of these people would not last a day in this industry.
No.
All of these people would not last a day. I promise you this. But open internet. Every kid today want to be what? YouTube sensation or TikTok star, which is great. Be an amazing waiter and you make money. I don't know how much money I made in tips and how much I do.
Tips
so
are great,
I
man.
think
you got it, Paula.
No, Paula.
You got it.
I'm happy that I said, I hope you're still in the industry. If not, drop me a holler.
There we go.
Why do you have these things with the...
Why do I have... They also... Look, they print it bigger for me as well, because it's just insane.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
Oh, yeah. Liam, talent manager. At 2 a.m., an older man arrived at the hotel reception demanding one of the night shift women, a young apprentice, and a newly promoted shift leader to follow him to his room.
Awkward.
It's getting weird. Despite their polite refusals, he insisted for 10 minutes, claiming he had a right to take one of them upstairs.
What is that? Is that the right that we had when there was, in the middle age, where the guy was allowed to take the woman in the wedding night?
Finally, they realized he had booked an escort through the concierge, but she hadn't shown up. And the night shift hadn't been informed. Disappointed, he expected one of the receptionists to make up for it. Woo-hoo-hoo. Look, I think anybody that's worked in a 5-star hotel, myself included, can safely confirm that the whole escort service thing is absolutely very much on the agenda. Probably not just in 5-star hotels, also probably in other hotels, more than you would think.
And probably most of the people know what's happening.
Absolutely.
Because usually people think, especially guests, that
It's totally
Every staff member is literally clueless, but every staff member knows exactly what you guys are doing.
Absolutely knows what's happening. I mean, the answer here clearly is politely decline and say.
Here's the thing: I would rather kick this guy out if he insists
than the plate guy.
Than any other one, because I really think this is a very personal thing.
Matter of respect.
It's a matter of respect, and for me, my staff members, or the staff members, especially at night, they have a crazy job sometimes. And then you have a guy coming home.
Downtown hotel, night shift. You can write a book. I mean, it's a tricky conversation depending on how far it's gone. It's that makes all the difference in the way the gentleman's approach it.
Here's the thing. If you feel uncomfortable at work, or if any guest oversteps any line, it doesn't matter whether it's escort or as well, how he talks to you, the way he talks to you, I would always protect my team. So this is a clear go situation. Line. So these guests need to go. If you don't accept or don't give the respect to what the ladies and gentlemen doing at reception or in service, and you overstep a personal line, I would rather kick them always out.
Have you kicked anybody out of your hotels?
I cannot count how many people I kicked out for that. And it doesn't matter how much they pay. I don't care whether they're wealthy. I don't care who they are. If they don't share the utmost respect to those people who do that job,
provide their service,
then they're out. And I had that. I remember stories at the reception where they were yelling at my front office manager and wanted to talk to the boss. And then I came and they were totally small and normal. And I said, what do you expect me now to say? Anything different than her? And it ended that I say, I want you to leave. I have the right of house. I hold that right. I don't want you to be as a guest. I have to say, I did not had so many sexual harassment situations, but I had that as well. Usually it comes from the bar. It's less the hotel guest, it's more bar drunk, and then I kick them out immediately. There is no question about that.
Makes sense.
So hey, be safe out there. That's a hard word. And
Thanks
if
for
your
sending,
manager
Liam.
does not kick those people out, give me a call.
Liam, man. I hope that your team is okay and that they did.
And Liam, tell us what happened. Did they investigate about the escort did not show up?
Yeah, why didn't she show up?
That is a point. That's money, huh?
That is money. Liam, man, thanks for sending. And clearly a no-Joe.
Hey, and Liam, one comment I need, because you have not mentioned it. They politely declined, but at the end, they did not go. That's the only thing I want to know, right?
Please tell us that they didn't go.
Tell us. You're a talent manager, so you should. All right, I'm getting one as well. See, for me, they're doing the magical ones. Flippity flip.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Okay, welcome Melanie Master Cleaner. Is that your name, or is Master Cleaner your job profession?
Master Cleaner?
Melanie Master Cleaner.
Can you imagine that's your last name? Oh my God, I would
nice
just
to meet you. I'm Master Cleaner.
Excuse me, Mr. Master Cleaner. How are you? Very nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, good afternoon.
Melanie Master Cleaner. Guests left 3 weeks old expired milk in the minibar. Oh yeah, but they were only in house for 3 days, so that means it was already 2.5 weeks expired when they checked in. Who lucks around rotten milk? First, I like the confidence of Melanie to be sure that this milk has not been in the minibar before, because that would have been my first thought.
I'll be honest. I found some very weird things. I've been in hotels where I've seen chocolate that was 2 years. That's the classic, I guess. Chocolate bars that are expired since a year and so on and so forth. But, nothing really is bad about it. I've had treatments in my room that were expired. That I find a little...
Because they were put extra for somebody, that's not okay?
That's not okay. Yeah, that's not okay. The milk thing... I mean, the milk is clearly the most dangerous thing, because if milk expires, clearly at some point it flips. And
how does Melanie know that it's milk?
I mean...
How does Melanie... So many questions. How does she know it's milk? How does she know it was not in the room? And if these guests really probably want to do cheese, or what do you do with molke? What do you do with old milk? You can reproduce something.
You can't really do much with it, to be honest. So,
come on.
I mean, clearly, I think the whole minibar... So, topic of minibar.
I love it.
I agree. A good minibar is still something... I mean, probably most hotel guys will say, okay, but it's never going to make you money. Fair enough. Right? So, and then there's the question, do you include it in the room price and yada, yada. I still think at a certain style of hotel, a good, well-equipped minibar with some local spirits, some local juice, some water, still a banger.
Confession time. I'm a minibar guy.
I'm a minibar guy.
I'm a minibar guy, and I'm always taking stuff from the minibar. The best treatment you can give me, folks out there, is free minibar.
Agreed.
I'm going to take it.
Agreed.
Everything. No, but I agree. The minibar has a thing. As an operator, I don't want a minibar. As a guest, a minibar is a help thing. Or let's put it that way, a fridge already is like a massive plus. If I can put a water or something in there and have it
especially in the summer months, if you know that you're in a place where it's warm.
Back to Melania, the master cleaner.
Mrs. Master Cleaner. Look, get the milk out of there. I think that I spoke to a GM once, this was many years ago, who said, we try not put anything that expires quickly, so within 12 months, into the minibar to avoid that kind of situation.
But those guests brought it the most, like that's what she thinks, so that's a different thing.
Also, how did no of the other guests within the 3 weeks realize that there was rotten milk in the freaking minibar?
Yeah, because here is the thing. You think as well it was already in the bar, but she thinks that those guests brought the rotten milk, put them in the fridge.
And just let it sit there.
So again, probably was no milk. There's other liquids with a similar texture.
Oh boy. Moving on. See you later.
Okay.
All right. Back to the next one. Oh, yeah. Felix, front desk clerk. We had a very high net worth individual stay at our hotel. For over
very high what?
A very high in net worth individual.
Net worth individual.
Basically means
something
a rich
like
guy.
you.
Not like me.
Something like you.
A rich guy. About 2 weeks in, he snuck into the staff access area and found his way to us. Probably back of house, I would assume. It was 2 a.m. and we were doing closing. He apologized and asked if he could have a peanut butter sandwich. Ooh, peanut butter sandwich, big fan.
Yes, it's clearly not in Europe.
It's clearly not in Europe. No.
Don't know hotels with peanut butter.
A good peanut butter jelly sandwich. Ooh. And just chill for a bit. So we sat with a person who was worth billions while he chewed on a peanut butter sandwich and we talked about sports. He told us he'd had too much fancy food the last couple of days and company and just wanted to chill with real people.
That's my thing.
That's my guy.
That's my guy.
That's my guy right there. What a great guy. And these are the best stories, I feel like, from the hospitality world, because it's especially the high net worth guys, the super rich. They don't always want the best and most beautiful Wagyu steak.
They cook with water, and at the end, they want to sit with the guys on the floor and have a chat. Yeah. I love this story because this Felix. Is what this guy, this net billion guy like you, he is like
net
one of
billion.
Those,
okay, yeah.
This is one of those people I really have to have around, and it's okay if he enters this area as long as he's polite and everything. Because imagine what a value that has for your team,
and what a great what a great showcase of the guy as well. That he's nothing beyond anybody else. He's just like them, and I think that's really what it boils down to. And especially luxury. Now, that's not to say that there's not also luxury hotels where there's billionaires that act up all the time and want
100%.
Right, that's also part of the story.
Human are idiots, so it's not like not with your net worth or stuff.
Yeah,
Felix, that's a great story. I really love that. I love that one. Huh?
Felix, this one's for you.
Okay, I have to think again if I have it this way. All right, no problem.
Turn it on your head.
Yeah. Lori, the housekeeper assistant. So probably Lori is Melanie's assistant. I don't know. My first job was in the housekeeping department as assistant housekeeper of a very
important part
fancy
of
hotel.
Oh.
A very fancy hotel. Mm-hmm. What is a very fancy hotel? What is
something like the social hub?
That's a fancy.
That's hotel, a fancy hotel.
That's a fancy people as well.
Fancy people.
And one story from that time will haunt me forever. Oh, that sounds amazing. Uh-oh. We had a couple who, for 3 consecutive nights, turned their bed into a disaster zone.
Uh-oh.
Question.
Yeah. Ones we cannot ask, but yes.
I can. Every single night, they would brace yourself, poop in the bed, and then call reception with an urgent plea for fresh sheets. Still can't decide what was funnier, the situation itself or the face of my manager every time reception called to report another small incident requiring fresh bed sheets. Okay.
I'll start from the beginning.
This is Berlin. In Berlin, things tend to be different. Yeah. If you have ever been in one of the infamous nightclubs like Kit Kat or Berghain, which are close to my hotel, and I can promise you a lot of times people come back from those areas or go to these areas at random times of the night or day. And don't want to talk about stuff leaving your body, but I've seen things. And I don't want to judge people for what they like or what they dislike. What I don't like is if they do it somewhere else. And here's the thing.
That would have been my...
If they have not given you an amazing tip or extra money for what they have done, then I would be pissed. I would blacklist them immediately.
I'm happy with everybody doing whatever they want to do and with whomever they want to do it.
Did you say you're happy?
I'm not. I'm happy for them. But my point is exactly the same. Don't do it at home. Do it in your place, and then that's fine. Don't do it in other places, or compensate the hell out of it with tips or whatever else that's going on. I'm completely with you on that. I fully agree.
Come on, honestly, listen. How much? What is going through your mind if you know you like that kind of stuff? I mean, probably you have that dark side in you as well, where you like things that you don't want to share.
Not dark, but
not that dark. Yeah. But if you do that and you do it somewhere else, and you imagine. Everybody sees you walking out of your room. It's a different thing if you check in at 11 and you check in at 5. Nobody comes, nobody sees you. Never. But these people are like, "Hey, good morning, going to breakfast," and the whole team will say,
everybody behind the house knows.
That's pooping Paul and pooping Paula.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
it's no. I totally agree with you, and it's got nothing to do with stereotypes or anything like that. It's just a matter of respect the others as well, because clearly there's someone that has to take care of this.
How much would be an appropriate tip for that?
That's the question. That's the famous question. I mean, I would give him.
Look, if the thing
50
is
euros, 100 euros a day.
It's bad because if it happens once and it's an accident,
I mean,
that's what I mean. I would already give a lot of tip for a one-off.
Yeah. But it's every single night.
You do it every night.
3 consecutive nights. I would give 100, 150 euros for sure.
And you would leave it in the room, right?
I would leave it in the room for those that actually take care of the room.
Probably they have a little sign where they say, "This is for the guy cleaning up the poop."
Wow.
Moving on.
We got a sign there that says next. We're talking too much.
Next.
Okay. Bob.
That's a joke. Can you read everything?
Bob the Builder. Okay, I see what you did. 3 weeks prior to our hotel opening. The new housekeeping team is very motivated and starts to unpack furniture and clean and prep the rooms. They did a great job, apart from removing the little plastic caps, which are the security protection of the automatic sprinkler system, and that are highly sensitive to all sorts of dust particles. You could imagine what happened on the first day. ... Water emoji.
Mm-hmm.
I think possibly the first emoji we've ever had on Dirty Laundry. So congratulations, Bob. I mean, the whole sprinkler thing is. I've worked in a hotel where the sprinkler went off. In the entire hotel.
I know what you did.
It wasn't me.
No, I know what you did. The sprinkler went off. You took soap and you started showering.
I started showering because it was showering Tuesday. Money, no, absolutely, you're right. Look, the whole sprinkler thing is never going to get old. I think that's just. Yeah, that can happen. Obviously, if you remove parts of the sprinkler that protect the whole shebang from happening, then that's clearly not smart. What about fire alarms? While we're talking about sprinklers, something you must have this.
You're talking to the fire alarm expert of Berlin.
Yeah, exactly.
Ranking at 380 fire alarms since opening. I have to say, I'm not Bob the Builder. I'm more Phil the
filler.
Phil the pleaser would be better, but Phil the filler. If you have a cap over it that protects it, how can it still be turned on? You know,
but they took away the cap. That's the problem.
But he said they did a great job. Apart from removing, so if they would have removed the parts, and then there is a sprinkler system, then it's a thing. The question is, who pays for that? Is it an insurance question? Is it a housekeeping company?
Who pays for it? When you guys have fire alarms? Who pays? Because the Feuerwehr don't come for free.
This one right here.
This one right here, right?
This one right here.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if it's made on purpose, if somebody smokes, I'll let him pay.
Yeah.
But if it's like one of our system default settings, somebody cooks or stuff, then
it's you pay.
It's a lot of money.
How much is the fire department these days? What's the going rate? If I want to call them tomorrow because somebody in my office is...
If you're going to call them, it's a different thing. But if they come because the alarm is triggered, it depends on the amount of wagons coming.
Okay.
So if this is a hotel with potentially over 1,000 people or a place with over 1,000 people in
so
it.
The whole
train
comes.
2 to 3 trucks. So it's 2,000 euro for the firefighters.
Okay.
Between 180 and 600 for the police, depending as well on how much wagons they send.
Yeah.
Then another 200 or 300 euro for the company to reset the fire system.
Yeah.
Ranking 2.2k in average per fire alarm.
It's an expensive gig, huh?
Yes, and I remember I had a boss once. Shout out to Thomas Frisch. He came from Freiburg to Berlin, and we had a fire alarm once in the hotel. And he said, "Why don't you give them a keg of beer?" I said, "Man, that works in Freiburg.
That doesn't really work in Berlin.
That doesn't work in Berlin.
No, sir.
We're not to be paid off with beer.
No, sir. Thank you, Bob.
It's me, huh?
Your turn.
Selma.
Can I just, before we start, we have some really cute signs where they tell us off. Did you see that?
Yeah.
There's a sign now that's called Pfui aus. Isn't that adorable?
For what was that? For pooping Paula?
I think for the pooping Paula.
Pooping Paula.
Isn't that cute? Sorry, go on.
We should have behind the scenes footage
Yeah,
of
we
those
should.
people.
We should film them at some point.
Yeah, it's 100 of them.
There's you.
It's a huge team. They try to control
It's
us.
insane, yeah. And they and we've got like little shock bracelets where they shock us as well if the stories are
And
too
they
dirty.
fail.
And
They
then,
fail.
and then look, and then we've got the so it's the wrong way around as well. It's terrible. Go on, sorry.
Selma, the service team member.
Hello, Selma.
Selma, merhaba.
Cheers to you, Selma.
It's 2010. We are regularly hosting events such as weddings in our event space. Our shift leader, Shifty, our shift leader tells us if we work more than 12 hours tonight, we will get an extra day off. Or we will
Easy money.
The apprentice asks what happens if we work 11.5-hour shifts. Nothing was his answer. That's just a regular shift.
Leadership. Leadership. Yeah, I mean, look, I think everybody that works in hospitality can safely agree it's not an 8-hour-a-day job. I mean, that much we know. Clearly not. And, extra time comes quite naturally in this business. And I think that's part of the story. The rewards for that, and we can turn this whatever way we want. Clearly, there's other industries where you do work 9 to 5, 8 hours a day. And if that's your mojo, then that's what you should be doing. But the reality is hospitality is not that. And it doesn't matter if you're a GM or a waiter. You don't work 9 to 5 either. You're probably here in the evenings a fair bit as well, depending on what happens.
Yeah.
So
no, it's a 24-hour job. You got
It is a
24-hour
24-hour job.
responsibility for
Yeah.
guests, for people they call. So that's a normal
you
thing.
cannot plan it. If the fire alarm goes off at 5:30 and your shift ended at 5, then you're staying until 7 until the fire department is left. That's just how that
Guys,
story goes.
if you're looking for 9 to 5,
It's the wrong
it
place.
doesn't matter how much
No.
you love hospitality.
Yeah, it's the wrong place.
And you want to be a GM, that's a full-time job, and the full-time does never end. So if they call me at 9 because something's happening, I'm still responsible for team and guests. That's the thing you have to take.
to the point where sometimes you even have to come back to the hotel, I would imagine, right? And don't worry, guys, if you want to become a GM, you don't have to be as good looking as this guy. Okay, so there's
It's not the
different.
looks, it's the talent, huh? It's the talent. It's the talent.
It's all the talent.
No, but
it's.
coming back to this, I have a
Happens.
question. The shift leader says when you work more than 12 hours.
I mean, the answer is dumb.
The answer, what happens if you look at your watch and say, oh, I worked 11.5 hours.
Yeah.
I know I have to find something to work for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, just trick your way through it.
I am 100% sure there will
yeah.
be something that
I'm doing
needs a
inventory.
cleaning.
I'm doing inventory for half an hour or
a
something
deep
like that.
cleaning, whatever. No, I would.
Mise en place.
So here's the thing: as a shift leader, reward your people for things they do.
Yeah.
And if you want to,
Any leader, not just as a shift leader.
yeah, you're absolutely right. And if you want to make sure that they work hard and good, try to motivate them. And the motivation is, by the way, even higher if you give it afterwards.
Yeah.
So then you can say they worked only 7 hours, but it was the best 7 hours, and they did the job of 9 hours or 11 hours in 7 hours, and you reward them for that. The effect is way higher on the
100%
team than the
agree.
rest.
100%. That being said, I stand by the fact that the answer that's just a regular shift is always not the best answer you can give in that
No,
situation.
and the industry, I mean, we have a bad reputation, but we pay off over hours. We give extra hours free. So in Germany, for sure, the law is quite strict on this.
Selma, you can tell your shift leader, send us a message.
Oh, it's 2010. This person was a shift leader in 2010.
Oh man, he probably still is with that answer. Leo.
Is that the zodiac sign or the name?
I mean, I don't know, but it's a front desk intern, so I would imagine it's the
Is
name.
Leo a male or a female? Or
Could be either.
non-binary,
Really.
huh?
Yeah, could be either. Doing my internship, we're back in a luxury hotel.
I like Leo as a name.
Leo's a great name.
And especially female, Leonese.
Leonese
I like it. It's
is
a nice
good name, huh? It's a good name.
Good
It's a
name.
good. I couldn't agree more. During my internship at a luxurious hotel, I had my first night shift. Ooh, never forget a first. Night shift. A couple was waiting to check in. Where's the Pfui sign? Can I get the Pfui sign very quickly, please? It's down there on the floor. Okay.
Did you never forget your first?
Night shift.
Night shift?
Yes.
You never? Okay.
Okay. A couple was waiting to check in, and the man was incredibly imposing with face tattoos and massive muscles. When I asked for his
You
ID,
showed my tattoo or my
Both.
my impressive muscles?
both. When I asked for his ID, he seriously inquired if we accepted prison IDs. Woo-hoo. Terrified and unsure, I let them check in. Throughout their stay, they made strange requests, including asking if we could freeze a plastic bag full of water for them.
Say what?
Ha!
Why is freezing a bag full of water? Probably you have injured your ankle.
or you're trying to use the ice block to murder somebody in the closet on the
wouldn't
fifth
there
floor.
been easier ways to murder somebody than freezing the water and then using the water?
You ice block to kill it.
Them over there.
I'm not in the murder business, but look,
100 ways to murder people with
five
Fritz.
ways to murder somebody at a hotel. Ice block. No, look. I mean, would you go and speak to the manager about this the next morning when you hand over from your night shift, or somebody was on duty with you? I would imagine that's more senior than the intern. Yes. Would you necessarily question this? No, because you're part of your job at the front desk is to protect privacy and integrity, and if they've got a valid ID that they can show, you check them in, and you're none the wiser. If the police has a problem with that, you're that's not your responsibility per se.
Hey, we all shout out to all my friends,
Front
everybody who is in there. You went to prison, you're out,
Yeah.
you served,
Yeah.
you're done, you start zero.
Yeah.
As long as you don't do anything bad,
Again,
that you're a normal person, a normal guest. I cannot judge if a prison ID is something that is legally
Valid. I don't
okay
know.
to check in. I don't know. But if you have an ID, you paid your bill, you're a guest in my hotel. I could not care whether your tattoo says whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's a different thing when it comes to political opinions. So,
Agreed.
Races and all these kind of things. I'm a bit more worried about that.
Yep.
But if you have a tattoo in your face, you're welcome to come. And I
if
don't
well
judge
built,
people.
Yeah,
Being
agreed.
muscly, that does not affect that. But what I really was more worried about, what is a strange request?
Yeah.
What do you consider a strange request?
What's the strangest request you ever had in one of your hotels?
I don't know whether strange is that, but very often you have to put something in the freezer, medication. You don't always know what kind of medication is what you put in the freezer, so that's a thing. But there's a ton of strange requests, like I need 5 pillows, 5 towels, and it's just one person. But I would say, judging in this story, I would have asked the question, hey, what do you need the water for? And if the person says, hey, I turned my ankle, then I would say, hey, I have crushed ice for you. I can make that better.
We can do that
It just
easy,
happened
yeah.
yesterday, by the way. I see a guy limping through the hotel.
Yeah.
And then I said, man, it was tall. I said, what happened? He said, I was at a concert and I did the mosh pit. And I fall down in the mosh pit and people were stomping over my leg. And I said, that's
Rough
hard.
one.
And I said, listen, are you traveling now? I said, yes. I said, wait, I'll be back. So I went to the kitchen, put some
Brought the
ice
ice,
there
yeah.
and brought him this. And this is exactly what I mean. We're serving guests at the end. And
Yeah.
if probably he likes his water as an ice block and he wants to suck on it, whatever it is, then it's his thing. I'm not judging on that. But a face tattoo doesn't make you...
No, I was going to say, I think 50% of the answer here is that's just part of our job is hosting people in hospitality. And that's, that we don't ask.
You're an intern. It's your first night shift probably as well.
Clearly
It's a
it's scary.
learning kind of thing.
Clearly it's scary. Yeah, I agree.
All right, party people. BFF of a motel owner. Oh, now we're coming in the world.
Okay.
BFF is the best fucking friend of a motel owner?
I would agree. Yeah.
Whatever.
I think that's what BFF. No, don't even start with any other abbreviations. Read the text. No, read the text. You read here where it says have a friend.
But the BFF is not.
We've skipped that. We've passed it.
Can you post your favorite word? What could BFF stand for in your world?
Any abbreviations.
Anything.
It can be dirty. It's okay.
I have one, but I'm not allowed to use it.
Correct. Otherwise, we get the the sign? Where is it?
The best friend.
There we go.
Friendshipper of a motel owner. Motel is different. It's already a thing. The difference between a motel and a hotel. Would love to hear that.
Hotel, motel, holiday inn.
Have a friend who owns a small motel off the highway. Starts amazing. One late night, he got a call about a loud crash in an unoccupied room. We went to investigate and found a cat that had knocked over a lamp. It's good that you spend so much time with your best friend in the motel. We discovered the previous guest had abandoned her 3 days earlier. When called, the owner said he was already across the country and he wouldn't return for her. So my friend adopted her and now she's the official motel cat. She patrols the property, keeps mice away, and even has a picture on a wall as one of the employees.
Member of staff.
Turning shit into a great story.
Insane. Do you know what? When I started in the industry, 2008, 2009, I thought motels or highway hotels, typically in Germany and France and Spain, those are typically a country where there's a lot of hotels on that. I thought they were the most weird thing on the planet. Little did I know, they're some of the most profitable hotels.
I'm a
business.
kid, you know that. I come from a
It's
generation where Akko made money with the plastic hotels.
It's
insane
insane.
profit. Yeah.
The amount of occupancy, the rates is because there's truck drivers, there's people that travel by still to this day that travel in the car for days and days and days. These hotels are some of the most profitable establishments. Forget luxury 5-star downtown highway hotels. I don't know if that's still the case today, but I know for a fact that
Germany. And Germany is not the land for motels, because the difference between a motel and a hotel is usually that a hotel has a closed corridor.
Yeah.
A motel is by definition a place where you're outside and then you enter your room and you're not in a fixed structure.
Yeah.
We don't have that much in Germany because German guests usually go to a hotel.
True.
But in the States, motel is a fixed business because you can drive your car, you can park your car, upload, unload, and it's usually as well a good time to bridge a couple of days.
Yeah.
And that's why there is always weird and interesting stories happening in motels. All the American movies with horror movies and stuff usually have this motel character.
Yeah.
But again, to this story, this guest who left this card, I hope that karma will hit you hard for that, because this is one of the bad things you see. You just leave somewhere
Never
here.
leave a
It's
pet.
not only the problem that you have with a hotel to get somebody to own it, but as well, everything is dirty.
Zeit ist Do we care?
What does that mean in English?
I don't know. I don't speak German. Okay,
We'll
Lucas.
do one more.
Lucas,
let me check with the thing. One more. They say one more. One is far.
We actually have two more cards beyond this. I think if we quick, we manage. Let's go. Lucas, service intern. As an F&B trainee, I was clearing a table on the restaurant terrace at dusk. From dusk to dawn. While lifting a plate in front of a guest, I accidentally knocked him on the forehead. On the forehead with it. The whole table burst into laughter, including the guest, while I turned as red as a tomato and frantically apologized. The manager stormed out to assist, offering the guest a drink and checked if anybody was seriously hurt. They gladly accepted the drink and, still laughing, reassured us nothing bad happened. They explained that it had been quite a day already. The guest had fallen down the stairs on the way to the breakfast, slipped in the pool area, and now got a plate to his forehead. It's a tough
Slipped
day.
in the pool area. Wow.
It's a tough day at the office. These things happen. I can tell, well, you take the next card. I can tell you one great story. When I was at hotel school, 2009.
That's an amazing story. No, I'm kidding.
First year, we had to work in the gastronomic restaurant of the hotel school, and I had a girl with me in my class. Her name was Maxie. Great girl. She was super nice, super enthusiastic about the business. Everything going for her. But she was very small, right? And poor Max. And we had to carry on in that module where we worked in the gastronomic restaurant. We had to carry plates, as you do in gastronomic restaurants, and we had to try and carry 3 plates.
Why do you use the word gastronomic?
Because it was not just your average John Doe restaurant. It was a fairly high-end restaurant. We had to carry 3 plates. And poor Maxie,
gastronomic restaurant.
Gastronomic, GAS. Anyways.
Gastroenteritis in this one.
That's the one.
Yep.
And poor Maxie had to carry 3 plates, and which, as we all know, depending on the plates, can be quite heavy. And you could see as we were leaving the kitchen to serve a table that she was already wobbling through the dining hall as we were trying to get to the table. And she lost control by the time we got to the table. She lost control of the plate, and it was a beautiful steak with some sauce and some sides in it. And the entire steak, sauce, and all the sides went down the back of the shirt of the guest who was sitting with his back towards where we were coming from the kitchen. He had no idea that it was coming. He was not prepared for it. It wasn't, luckily nothing was hot, so he wasn't burnt. But the whole sauce.
So the gastronomic restaurant served the cold steak?
It was served a cold steak with a cold sauce apparently as well. I will never, Maxie, if you hear this, shout out to you. I hope you're well. One of my forever favorite stories, and she was so upset about it. But what point of the story, she afterwards, about 15 minutes later, she got the courage together at 19 years of age, which is not easy at 19 years of age, to go to the guest and say, "Hey, sorry, it's my second day doing this.
I want to see a picture of Maxi."
I will send you a picture of Maxi.
No, not she should send in what she's doing. No, your pictures I don't want.
Okay, fair. Hey, Maxi.
Mehmet Abi. Reservation manager. A wealthy-looking elderly lady checks into our hotel. How do wealthy look? Anyway.
Oh, you can tell. No, I'm with you, Mehmet.
Accompanied. How do you say that?
Accompanied.
Yeah, accompanied.
Yeah, accompanied.
Because I don't speak so good English.
It's accompanied is the same style of words like gastronomic restaurant.
Oh,
it's the same.
Yeah. Accompanied by a young gentleman. He insists on them sharing a room and double bed. Whilst she leaves shortly after to visit a friend, he stays in the room. A little while later, one of our colleagues sees water coming out from under the door of their room. When we open the door, the bathtub is overflowing with water, and every single movable item in the room has been put into the bathtub. Lamps, towels, pillows, the remote control, and the guy had disappeared. It later turned out that the couple only met recently. The guy had escaped the psychiatric
institution.
Psychiatric gastronomic institution.
Gastronomic restaurant, psychiatric institution. It's one.
Yeah, well, I cannot say anything about that.
No.
I said already, there is insane people everywhere. There's nothing else for me to say. But Mehmet, I hope the damage was not so hard, and it was not probably
the remote control. God damn!
I could say stories in our next thing about remote control.
We should do that at some point. A
special remote control.
The craziest story I have.
Are you sharing another story of your gastronomic restaurant now?
No, gastronomic restaurant, but SIM cards involved. Next time.
Yeah, next time. We have one more card. I know nobody wants it, but we'll do it. It's from Eddie, the barkeeper. It's the brother of Eddie the Eagle, which we love to bits.
Oh,
a lonesome gentleman, which is Lucky Luke usually, spent the evening in our gastronomic restaurant. Silently, he's been sitting in a corner drinking one gin tonic after the other. Oh, that could be me. My colleague and I cut him off after number 6.
Go-to drink on a night out? Gin tonic?
Okay. Because he's or espresso martini.
What kind of gin? What's your favorite gin?
Oh, I'm quite
easy on it.
Easy.
Okay.
After the fourth one, you cannot tell anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
We cut him off after number 6 because he's far too drunk. That's a smart move. We had that earlier.
So far, it does sound like you.
Yeah. Well, nobody cuts me off usually. That's the problem. He doesn't agree, but stumbles out of the restaurant and walks away. About 5 minutes later, he returns as if nothing has happened. He walks towards me and my colleagues. He looks straight into our faces, stops and say, "Okay, then not," and retreats.
Oh, wow.
It's not me.
No.
I wish I could be the one.
I mean, traditionally barkeepers and everybody that works in a bar, they usually have the best stories. There's the experiences these guys make whenever there's alcohol involved or people end the night. Those are usually the craziest places. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gone over 10 minutes of time, at least, probably. We recorded a separate outro, so I guess we can just stop talking and off. Smack that all on the floor.
And it's a wrap. That's it. It was hot. We laughed, but we had fun, and I promise we'll meet again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do this again for sure. Join the conversation. Comment, like, share, subscribe, whatever is in your pocket of skill sets. Do it. We'll see you next time. Peace.